Yes, people. We're back with another episode of Blocks2Bags. This is part of the deep dive series. Seb, what's on today?
We're deep diving. Get your scuba gear on because we're going to be going deep on a couple of topics. So, one part of the show that me and Beach have been talking about bringing to the audience is really going deep on topics that we think are relevant and we think are cool. And a lot of people have questions around these, whether it be entrepreneurs, people we're chatting to, even like the podcast studio technician guy that I was just chatting to earlier. He wanted to know all about it. And what we're going to be chatting today about is AI, artificial intelligence.
So obviously AI has been something that we've all heard at some point, especially if you're in business and you're in trade. And it's been seen as like this deep, dark, stormy thing that may be coming to replace our jobs.
Oh,
You know,
it's taken over.
automation.
Yeah, all of that Terminator.
Is
yeah,
it
iRobot.
is it as scary as it seems? I don't know. What do you think?
Depends who you're asking.
Mm-hmm.
I was chatting to my man earlier, and first thing he said was, "It's coming for all the jobs, man. It's coming for all the jobs." And I personally have a different view to that. I think AI is doing some wonderful things. It's actually integrated into a lot of the technology and apps that we use day to day. So we'll be talking about TikTok, for example, and how their algorithm based on AI essentially figures out how to serve you like the right content at the right time to keep you super engaged.
Yeah.
We see other forms of AI coming to the market, especially now with something called generative AI, and we've seen startups and tools like Jasper.ai. That's something that my boss actually mentioned to me last week. He's like, "Yo, Seb, why don't like someone's been telling me about this AI tool that you can use to like write blogs? Why don't we just use that to like write blogs? Let's do it. I was like, whoa there, buddy.
Whoa there, man.
Whoa.
Whoa there, man.
Hold on. And this is something that I figured out like maybe like a year ago when I checked out a company called Copy.ai. I think I must have been hit by an ad, so I thought, this sounds interesting. I was doing a lot of ads at that point, and I thought, this tool is a quite a cool tool that you can use to create copy, whether it be ad copy, whether it be blogs, newsletters, you name it.
Even
You
pitch
can,
decks.
yeah, pitch deck. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So from that point onwards, I checked out this Copy.ai startup. It was backed by some of the biggest VCs in the world, like Sequoia, and I thought, yo, this is actually like a serious thing that's actually happening. And what it got me thinking was, how is AI going to change the lives and processes of small businesses, solopreneurs? Like, those are the people that I'm kind of most passionate about, the early stage kind of guys, right? The guys from the block, the guys like me and you. So that got me thinking, like, what are like the different ways in which we can actually use AI today to help our businesses? And I thought that's like a decent place to kind of like have a quick convo, because I was doing a workshop last week around how to build a brand for your business. And I was talking a lot about, when I was doing my research and I was doing the deck, I noticed that you can actually just get your brand's logo created by an AI tool.
Yeah, this is true.
And I went and tested it out.
What did you create?
I actually created a logo for Blocks2Bags.
Ooh.
Yeah, I actually created a logo for Blocks2Bags. I typed in the prompt into the tool. You tell it, you know, what your business is about, the name of your business, the name of your brand, and it will generate artwork or logos for you, and it will generate like 50 of them.
Does it come at a cost or is it free?
So a lot of these are what you would consider product-led growth companies. So they always have a free plan or a free tier. So with this one, it will give you like one mock-up, but if you don't like that, which most of the times you probably won't, you want to go for a couple of different variations, you're going to have to pay. But it's only like 30 quid a month. So
Only.
yeah.
That's 360 a year.
Yeah, but you might only need it for a month or two. That's the thing about a lot of these SaaS companies. It's a pay monthly sort of subscription model where you can just get the AI to pattern up your logo, to do up your branding, create some images, and then you don't have to, pay the fee for the whole year.
Yeah,
You can
for
just
sure.
use the AI and dip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense.
So that was cool. Yeah.
And OpenAI, talk to me about OpenAI. I know Elon Musk is
Oh,
behind this.
yes, 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 yes. So whenever we talk about AI, I always tell people you don't need to check out GTP3, which is essentially like an AI processor model software thing that other companies can plug into to create some of these tools that I've been talking about, such as Jasper AI, Copy AI, all of this generative AI. It comes from these guys, OpenAI, and they're basically a startup. Elon Musk is listed as one of the kind of founders in there, but I think he went in with the big P's as an investor. You know what I'm saying, to get
Yeah.
that kind of board seat. But essentially, what they've been doing is they've been building the AI framework that businesses and people are going to use. And there's a couple players in the market, but OpenAI have really been the dominant guys. And I actually read somewhere that Microsoft might actually be looking at acquiring them, which will be very, very, very interesting. That could potentially be a game changer. But these guys, they got funded for a lot of money. It's a bunch of basically like AI scientists, data scientists, all coming together, and they've basically released this product, GTP3. There's GTP2, GTP1, and every time they release a new one, I think GTP4 is kind of around the corner. There's like a wait list for businesses that can kind of apply and start using it. And when GTP3 came out and people got early access to it, we started hearing some wild stories of how people are using this. I think it has basically like an API key that you can kind of access and build stuff on top of it.
What have been some stuff that you've been impressed with that you've seen that GTB do?
So on top of all of these sort of content creation tools and that kind of thing, I've heard where people have literally built full-on websites by just adding in prompts into it. So these guys have been, telling the GTP3 tool, hey, essentially you feed it a lot of data.
Yeah.
It plugs into essentially the internet. It absorbs a lot of data. You feed it a lot of data, and then you tell it, hey, can you create me a Craigslist? Or I've heard it's created like your own version of like a search engine. People have actually gone on to actually even use it to create apps and code,
Yeah.
which is kind of crazy to think that I'm pretty certain in the next couple of versions, or even this one, you're soon going to be able to tell the AI, hey, I want you to design me an app that lists all of the black owned restaurants and shops within a 1 mile radius and lets me know if they are open within the next hour and if they have any offers.
Yeah.
And then the program will then go on to literally create you an app like that. We're already seeing it with no code / the low code movement, where apps have become essentially like a drag and drop kind of build situation where you can literally log into these tools. There's tools like, I think the most famous one is called Bubble. There's a couple other people that have kind of come up in the kind of game.
Yeah.
Shout out Softer, that was founded by an included VC fellow called Mariam, and they literally are doing big things as well. But this whole low code, no code movement is kind of getting everyday people to get access to apps and solve problems, usually, I don't know, when it comes to like building apps, I mean, we had Cam on here a couple of episodes back, or the last episode, and he was saying he's got an app development agency. If you're looking at getting a decent app built on the kind of cheap, at least a couple of grand, 10 grand maybe. If you're looking at a really, really good app, you can get apps built for 5 grand. You can get apps built for a couple of grand. Obviously, if you outsource it, and it depends where you outsource it to. But with all of these new AI tools, it's all about ideas and creativity and your imagination. If you can think it, if you can ideate it, if you can imagine it, then the AI will soon be able to build it. And we've already seen that with the cool AI art that's coming out. There's a company called DALL-E, and DALL-E
So
is
something I've been seeing
yeah.
with on the art front is people getting avatars made.
Yeah.
Like some of my friends have just got the sickest avatars. But just from an art perspective, imagine if you're able to like tell a machine or tell the system the gallery you wanted to see design. And I know there's a lot of stuff that you can do around not just making art that just stays consistent for that one time, but art
Yeah.
that evolves over time
Yeah.
based on information you're getting around where people are spending time in the space you're designing.
I know you'll be the guy that's into this. So,
Do you know what I'm saying?
have you seen any cool AI art exhibitions or any examples of these sort of? I know you've been to a couple of immersive experiences here and there.
So I'll definitely say that Frameless are up push out there, new 30,000 square foot venue in London,
Okay.
Marble Arch area, and they've basically taken over like these 4 massive rooms, and they've made real immersive experiences where basically there's a visual projection across the walls, but it's from both sides. It's both to the wall and behind the wall, and depending on the room you're in, and the day you're there, the patterns on the floor change, and they
cool.
react to people stepping on it. And I've also noticed that I've gone to see it twice, and like I've seen different versions of the same art being played back. That's base level. But for me, the next level is like actually, can like 3 or 4 people go to the same room and be all projected different things?
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? It makes sense.
Talking about some Matrix there, yeah?
But that's what AI offers you the opportunity to go and do, right? So that's super exciting. That excites me a lot.
Hondo.
So with the AI world, like, do you see a space that like let's get practical with it. If I'm a founder right now, there's obviously no code and low code I can go out and do, but what can I be doing to make sure that I'm not missing out on information? And I'm not missing out on opportunities to do stuff right now. So
yeah, I think with this AI stuff, Twitter threads, baby. Twitter is pretty much, I would say, the #1 space where you can keep up with all of these developments that are coming out. People were chatting about this on Twitter ages ago, and it's only now that all of the big media publications and tech publications are getting interested in AI and some of the tools that are coming out from the sort of AI world. So yeah, definitely go on Twitter, follow who you need to follow. I would say there's a couple of newsletters as well out there that you can kind of follow. But me, I'm not gonna lie, like I've just been seeing it more and more just in everyday sort of tech news that I follow, in the startups that I'm looking at, the startups our VC fund is kind of looking at. There was a really big period where pretty much every startup had AI in it, right? A year ago or 2 years ago, and having the word AI in your startup would mean that you get that extra bit of funding. But I think the pennies dropped on a lot of them. A lot of them got exposed. They're not even really using real AI. But I think a good example to see of where AI has already been out there and being used is the app that we all know and love called TikTok.
the tuck of the tick.
The TikTok. Yeah. Some people know it as the app where you see 13 and 14-year-olds doing crazy dance challenges. Some people know it as the app where you can see the cool e-commerce entrepreneurs letting you know how to get the drop shipping gems. Some people see it as this is the thing with TikTok, right? It means so many different things to different people, and everyone's experience is actually tailored to their needs, and not their needs, but their interests and what they kind of like. And TikTok right now it's pretty much eating up Facebook, it's eating up Snapchat, it's eating up Twitter, especially in terms of ad spend. A lot of advertisers, I don't know if you saw recently, they've been pulling their ad budgets out of Twitter.
Going to TikTok.
I actually saw a report recently that the traffic to Twitter has decreased by 80%.
Wow.
And all of that money from advertisers is going to TikTok.
Yeah. So the price, or what a pound gets you is now going to be reduced.
Exactly. And
because there's going to be way more demand.
Exactly. And we've both seen the rise of TikTok, right?
Yeah.
We've worked in the sort of influencer space, social media space. It's $100 billion plus company, dollar value, like in terms of the valuation. How did it grow to be so fast in such a short period of time? Most people would say that TikTok kind of blew up during the kind of pandemic, right?
Yeah.
And obviously the key thing that we've always known is that it's all around the algorithm and the fact that it's not even a social media, quote unquote, a social media platform. It's an entertainment platform, right? You're on TikTok and it's serving you up seamless content, and all you got to do, really and truly, from the outside, it looks like all you got to do is just like swipe up, swipe up, swipe up, swipe up, right? Maybe save, like, so on and so forth. But what happens behind the scenes with the TikTok algorithm and the reason why it's able to serve you such good content, and believe you me, man, once I spend like 30 minutes on TikTok, I'm there for like a good 2 hours. If it's got me for 30 minutes, I'm looking at content that I'm really liking. There was a period where I was getting hit with NFT stuff. I was up late, like 1 a.m. thinking, should I buy NFTs? I'm on TikTok, like scrolling. It's giving me all of the NFT kind of content.
That dopamine hit is real.
It knows. It's like it knows, basically. And all of this comes from all the little signals that it picks up whenever you're swiping and scrolling.
So I went to a talk recently, and someone broke down, like, cool, what is the reason why TikTok is getting insane levels of engagement? And they broke it down to 3 things. Number 1, simple video production. Number 2, deep classification. Number 3, a match on interest, not social graph. So a little breakdown on those top 3 things around how TikTok is literally eating up Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube, and Twitter. So the simple video production, you know, they're limited to 60 seconds. Obviously, you've also got a 3-minute limit, and they've got powerful tools for editing, effects, and music. And then on a deep classification level, the card format is very simple. It gives you clean signal. The AI for video, audio, and transcript is super quick. So, for example, if you need to transcript a video, it's like all of these little things that the investment they've made on how they classify information is world class. And then number 3, your social graph is who you're connected to. So when I'm on Instagram, I see a lot of people I'm connected to, or brands that are paying for me to see them. But your interest graph is what you engage in. So they built their platform on what you engage in rather than it being on what you're connected to. That is super interesting. Super interesting. Like actually building a business based and matching people based on interest and not a social graph. So that's something interesting that a lot of people can start doing in their businesses, even as they're building soft tech, thinking about how are you matching your customers out with what you're doing based on interest, not just based on demographic, locality, or their pocket size. So yeah, that's a takeaway from TikTok.
I love that. And one discussion that I think we should have, and something that I wanted to chat to you about, was, we call this one a higher level conversation, inspired by what 19 Keys was chatting about in the epic Earn Your Leisure show in the Royal Albert Hall, which happened in
Monday the 31st of October.
End of October. And essentially he was chatting about AI and, you know, how you've essentially got to understand the trends that are going on so you can tap into this. But he was talking about the future of humanity and work and what happens when jobs become automated. We see that automated driving is becoming a thing. Driverless cars are becoming a thing. Driverless trucks and lorries are becoming a thing. I don't know if you've seen the new Tesla semi truck that they've released.
I haven't seen that yet. Let me go have a look.
It looks sick.
Tesla truck, we say.
Bro, like the big 18-wheeler trucks. I think it's literally coming out 2023. Like they're ready to go. So they're going to be on the road soon, right? And we all know that Tesla is a pioneer in self-driving cars. So it's only a matter of time before those trucks become self-driving. And we know in places like America, a lot of people are actually truck drivers. Truck drivers, it's a big industry that hires a lot of people. And what happens when these people are replaced by essentially autonomous vehicles, which I believe will at some point be safer than humans. It is kind of getting, I mean, it's a bit techie because the thing can be a little bit, you know, prejudiced based on the data sets. There's some issues there. There's some ethical issues there.
It absolutely can.
And we saw what happened when you talk out about these kind of things. There was actually an Ethiopian researcher called Timnit Gabru at Google who was talking about the ethics of AI and how the data sets and things that we're feeding it is essentially making it like racist. And it's taking on the prejudices and biases of the people working on it, which is mainly predominantly white male, so on and so forth. So because of things like that, you're seeing that sometimes the AI can't recognize a person of darker skin tone.
Yeah.
What happens when the
What
car
happened to
can't
him?
recognize?
What happened to him when he did the whistleblow again?
So she basically got locked off out of Google. They shut down all of her research, all of her funding. They essentially blackballed her and told her in no uncertain terms, you gotta leave. And luckily she kind of she started campaigning around this. People kind of were a bit angry actually, because she was a really well-known researcher in her field, and it's like, why aren't people actually wanting to talk about this
and make solutions?
Yeah, exactly. Why aren't people wanting to talk about this and actually make solutions? There was, I don't know if you saw that guy recently. I think he also worked for Google as well, and he said that essentially he was developing like an AI product.
Yeah.
And he said it was sentient actually, and that he was having conversations about God and spirituality with the AI, and essentially came out and was like, yo, this AI actually is sentient, and like we need to start talking. People thought he was a bit crazy in it, but he actually worked on the AI for quite a bit. He was a priest and he was a deeply spiritual man as well. But questions are starting to arise, isn't it, around the ethics of what's going to happen? And obviously,
because we're meddling with the future.
Yeah. And there's
Which
gonna
is part of innovation.
Yeah.
Why not keep leveling up? Like at some point, humans didn't drive cars and they didn't even fly planes. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Look how much we've been able to see and do because of the fact that we have planes and cars. So there's innovation and then there's destruction.
Exactly. I'm hoping for the innovation. I've always dreamed of a future. So I kind of got inspired through my studies. I was doing economic geography, and we studied an economist called John Maynard Keynes, and he comes up with Keynesian economics theories, and he was based in Cambridge. But I think it was him or another famous economist that said in the future, because of technological advancements, we should be able to live in a society where humans only have to work. I think he said it was 4 hours a week, and that's the future that he saw. And I think that's kind of where we might be going towards, right?
Yeah.
And that makes me question, what is our purpose going to be? Because a lot of the times, I guess a lot of our lives are kind of driven by work, what we do, our careers, that kind of thing. Can you imagine a future where you've got to work 80%, like, quote unquote, work 80% less?
It'll be a whole new world. A whole new world.
You're dreaming of that right now, yeah?
Dreaming of that. Wow.
Yeah, so it's going to be mad. Like, I think an interesting thing that's going to happen and what AI is going to do is it's going to give us a lot more free time, to put it simply. It's essentially going to do the tasks that we don't need to do, manual tasks, repetitive tasks. All of these things, they say, are not really meant for humans. Humans, we're creative creatures. We need novelty. We need new experiences to continue to kind of help us grow.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we've lived in a society where a lot of people, we went through industrialization, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people had to work on the factory line, repetitive tasks, kind of like machines.
Yeah.
Are we now transitioning to a society that's post-industrialist, post-service? Like, what happens then?
Facts. What does happen there? I suppose we're about to find out. But I think we all have a role to play in the future. Just like they say with any issue or opportunity, you have got a role to play. We can definitely support those people that are campaigning and bringing the truth to light by resharing, putting on our newsletters and letting people know what's going on that front. We can most definitely also be super helpful in, contributing towards research.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes a lot of reasons that we get missed out because we're not part of the conversation when people are planning. We want everything to be with us included in when you're coming from minorities. But I'm a big advocate of you need to be part of the conversation and be part of the process. So where you do see call outs for testing or invitations to pilot, invitations to be involved, Even myself, I'm talking to myself here. Where can I be part of that first sample? Because a lot of time when they're doing research and piloting, they only got 1,000 people or 500 people. But I wonder, and I won't be shocked that if the numbers of the numbers of people from backgrounds that are really representative of the world are always truly representative in the piloting phase of some of this stuff that's being done. So that's another thing you can do, and you'll get paid. You get paid to give you insights. You get paid to pilot and train. So yeah, shout out to Amazon, the Alexa team, the Siri team, like Apple. Like, if you guys want me to pilot anything, let me know. Just send it to my way.
You're right here.
We want that product over, baby. So let me know.
Perfect.
Anything else you want to cover in your deep AI? I think for me right now, I'm looking at the state of artificial intelligent companies in the UK. There's a top 50 list.
Okay.
And there's only one brand I know here, and it's called Signal AI, and another one called Chip, which are a fintech business. But there's so many brands out here that I don't know. Like in just in the top 10 alone, One Trust have raised 699 million, located in Islington, London.
Damn.
Big business. Graphcore raised 528 million, Bristol based.
Yeah.
Thought Machine 310 million, Islington based. Quantexa 182 million pound raise and for over 5 rounds, based in Lambeth. Lendable,
No way.
Lendable raised 217 million over 9 rounds, based in Hackney. PatSnap 251 million, 4 rounds, Southwark. It really is all around us right now, and there's opportunities to do some really cool things in these businesses. If you haven't had a chance to look at the growing startup businesses in artificial intelligence and you're looking to get more knowledge, I definitely recommend, as Seb said, getting on their newsletters, and finding out what white papers they're putting out around their future of the world that they see.
Exactly. And also, in terms of career advice, we do know that AI and ML based jobs, data scientist based jobs are actually one of the highest paying jobs and most in demand jobs out there, not just for right now, but for the future. So if you're thinking like, I want to get like a career or specialize in something that's going to be relevant, not just for now, but for the future, you can do machine learning, data science courses online. There's courses done by Oxford University, Cambridge University, the Open University, Coursera. There's so many places where you can learn really in depth how to actually, what goes on behind like the models and the modeling, what programs that they use, how to actually like get into it. And you can bag yourself a nice, sweet job after doing one of these kind of courses. So I do know that data scientist jobs are literally very, very in demand right now.
Yeah.
And bro, sounds pretty impressive if you tell people you're a data scientist.
Oh my God, I'm a data scientist, guys. You know what I'm saying? I work in the science of data. You know what I'm saying?
Love that. Maybe a quick question for you.
Go on, talk to me, bro.
Would you listen to a podcast done by AI?
I would. I'm curious to see where's he going to take me. I'd love to listen to a podcast done by AI that had different voices on it.
Yep. So
I don't want the monotone.
No. You can actually start to get the AI to actually sound like people as well. So
crazy, girl.
If you essentially fed it, let's say, a couple thousand hours of our audio and our footage, it can then pretend to be me and you, and you can kind of tell it what to talk about, and it can create a whole audio conversation.
Well, guys, let us know in the comments, on DMs, do you want to hear an episode in the next 12 months generated fully by AI with a couple of sprinklings in the laboratory from me and Seb?
Let us know in the comments. Do you want the clones? The clones are about. Cool. And then another cool thing, right? So, we're not like the biggest painters. Okay. Let me speak about me and my relationship with art.
Well, look, we're in a lovely art place today, aren't we?
Exactly. You can see all of these paintings. But, people have never said I'm like the greatest artist. I've always had dreams of being like an artist, and there's a side of me that people don't really know. But now I'm seeing people online building up crazy pages from their AI art, creating AI art basically, and they're putting in really cool prompts and they're creating really cool art.
Yeah,
And people are like following them and they're starting to do exhibitions and that kind of thing. So
that's what's up.
is this a chance for people to become more artists basically? And could we see a collection from you?
Absolutely, you can. I've been spending a lot of time in the art world. I'm going to take 20 people to Frameless Experience tomorrow. 20 strangers. They don't all know each other, so that should be very fascinating. I've been using the app Locals, and I've just bought a fairground plane that I need to find some experiences to put on.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I'm not the strongest painter, but I have a vision, a creative vision. Just like I wasn't the strongest rapper or singer, but I've done many talent shows and many live events. So I'm definitely going to be designing some sort of immersive art experience in the next 14 months that people could pay. It'll be ticketed, and there'll be multiple experiences, probably a launch party, and probably like a drawing room. Like I went at the Van Gogh immersive experience here in East London. There is a couple of different rooms, and one of the rooms they have after the VR headset actually just encourages you to draw.
Wow.
And I love that. I'm like, that's my thing. Like I want people to draw and paint when they come to this experience. It's just about locking down the right venue for the right amount of time and making it just like the space for people to be at, really.
You heard it here first. Come on.
Exclusive. My peoples, that was deep dive 1 in AI. Like there's so much to go through.
Exactly. We've got a big list. Big list.
There's a lot of like not knowing the unknown, but that's the beauty of business, right, guys? So yeah, please give us your feedback, chime in the conversation. Are you scared of AI? Are you part of the solution? Do you think that we should be doing a lot more informative things towards content?
Let us know in the comments.
Guys, I've been BJ.
I'm Seb.
Blocks2Bags, you know what it is. Let's go, guys.
Let's go.
Subscribe. Let's keep building.